Hello and welcome to the War Report. I'm your host Cyrus, joined by J5. This is a show where we're going to talk about NXT and AEW. How we feeling?
It's the War Report, baby. I'm back. You got me back here again.
Quan's still on special assignment recon.
I will gladly do this for Quan, but I'm gonna tell you, my mental is being tested with Dynamite every week. Every week is being tested.
You think mine isn't?
I don't know if I can make y'all do this no more. This is like, have you ever seen Mystery Science Theater 3000?
Yes.
It's like I'm doing that to y'all. It's like I'm like the scientist who keep giving y'all the tape and I'm making y'all watch it. And, you know, you're Crow and Quan is Mike T. Nelson. I keep making you niggas watch this. And I think that it's detrimental. I'm really going to have a conversation with Mills about like making y'all watch this because it's truly taxing on the brain. Like it's changing my brain chemistry. Like someone asked something in the chat and I answered it and I said, why do I know that?
Burning with AEW information. I'm actually gonna make a decision right here, right now. I'm not watching this shit until Quan comes back.
Well, All In is coming. I'll say this.
I think he'll be back for All In.
I don't know if they're going to do anything particularly exciting or interesting other than like, and we'll talk about on the show today, like people showing up or returning. You know what I'm saying? Before All In begins, or a bunch of interview segments. I think if like you are sold already, you already kind of know what matches are about to be on this show. I think this show kind of like solidifies what your top threes are. And you know that they're just gonna be what it is. And and Mill said on the A show this week, like it should be good, but I'm telling you, this is all you got. Then I don't know if it's enough. I really don't.
I'm just really tired of watching this shit. Just to be frank. But yeah, if Juan don't come back soon, I'm gonna stop watching this shit. And then probably just come back for, to the review of All In. I don't even think I want to do predictions because who gives a shit really? Like this, I think this card is going to be predictable as hell. I think the only things that is kind of like up to chance is like Danielson or Swerve. That's it. Like, you're not going to get me to really predict or care for these undercard matches. Like Bucks, what is it? It seems like it's going to be the Bucks, FTR, and the Acclaim. Like, I don't care who wins. We all lose.
Yeah, and I mean they're building a lot to it. I think that on one end you have something that's kind of exciting, and you know these TV deals are supposed to bring a lot of exciting situations to both shows, and I think NXT is really gearing up to kind of clear the table and create some storylines leading into October 1st. We're going to talk about huge announcements for NXT this week. AEW, you're still kind of in the dark. I mean,
yeah, you have no idea what their future is looking like. But
cool. I mean,
once again for the third, we'll talk about it in the quick hits. But this is like the third time in like 2 months where it was like AEW and and them reached a deal. Or like, talks seems to be closing soon. Then, we get another tweet seeming like just be, I guess, like damage control, I guess. Because what is it? Tony Khan said, this is going to be a historical deal for AEW. And then moments later, like WB stock was like purportedly in the fucking toilet.
That's a huge thing too, and this just came out today. WB, I mean, it's being reported their valuation went down by 9 billion, so they lost like 10 or something like that. And this comes fresh off the heels of the NBA thing. And let's just be clear, like they can do as much, court battles and all that stuff as they want. It's not going to change the fact that the NBA is gone. right?
Hmm.
Like the NBA is sorry, I had to turn my mic off. The NBA is not coming back
Yeah,
to
that's cooked.
yeah, like that's over with. And I think that again, it's I talked to somebody today about it. I'm like, just because they lost NBA doesn't mean that they're like, we need 3 more AEW shows or 2 more hours of AEW. I think it means that they are very much in the business of uh kind of maximizing their profit and finding anything they can. It's gonna be a lot of weird shit going on TNT for the next couple years.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't really know what you do to fill the NBA void, but good luck. I barely watch TNT anyway. Um, so I don't really care. But I need this shit to be over with so I can watch other things that I enjoy. um, I am back in my reality TV show era, and I'm having a blast
Welcome.
watching with the homies and shit. And they wanted to like watch more as a family today, and I was like, nah, man, I gotta watch AEW. I
Well,
hate that.
I'm so well. I mean, what do you watch? I'm pretty sure I know what you're watching.
I'm watching an array of things. Um, at work with my boss, I'm watching Baddies and I'm watching Johnson's Cabaret. Those are the two shows that we're watching.
That's going to change your brain chemistry also. I think the other way though.
It's kind of like for what is it? For is Baddies is the show because it's three of us at work that we watch it together. When one of them is not scheduled to work, we watch Baddies.
Right.
I forgot what there was another show that we were watching to like fill the void, when they're not around, just like a filler show. But Baddies is the thing that we're watching. Jocelyn Cabaret. We just started the Las Vegas season. We just saw Guy I Love.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We're getting ready. We
Well,
we are we are prepped.
Texas is on the way. So it's good to catch up before then. I'm not too hot on this season of baddies. I
Oh, I
think
think it's terrible.
it's a pretty bad season. I thought last season was pretty bad too. I think that the well is running dry in terms of like what they're able to give season to season here. And
Hmm.
I mean, not for lack of trying. I think that the returning women, the main roster stars are
Yeah.
good. But I think the idea this year or this season, sorry, there's like 3 baddie seasons a year. I think the issue is that like the new wave is just not interesting. They just don't have the personality to give.
Not only that, because whenever I go to LA, we would watch Betty, watch like the stupid moment, and that would be it. But in the episodes that we watched, we knew what they were doing. They were on a club tour, and we know that these ladies are rappers, and they will go to clubs, and then they'll just host club events. This season, there's so many women here, and I don't know what half these bitches do.
Bro, they're sharing $17 per person. Gotta be. They have to be.
Like, I don't get it. Um, what is it? The episode that we just watched, they just landed in Puerto Rico. They rode the ATVs,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then the preview for the next episode was and then Asia Doll fucking beat the shit out of that one white girl, and then
Right. Yeah. The Mariah Lynn Asian doll fight is about 20 minutes.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it's Mariah Lynn is continuing to be an issue for the baddies this season. I think her stock has gone way down after last year and her dealings with Smiley and all that.
Okay. I just thought that fight was funny because she was gonna keep fighting like I knew the mentality. She was gonna keep fighting Asia Doll until she got one good round and then stop.
Yeah,
But she got whooped 4 times in a fucking row.
her eye was leaking. She wears sunglasses for like the next 2 episodes, so be ready for
Yeah.
that.
But
I would like to suggest something if you're gonna go in the Zeus verse. This is a show that I feel like they need to
wait,
do another season of.
But before we get into it, I think the perfect fix for baddies would be is to continue the baddies versus the Jocelyn Cabaret thing.
Someone will die.
That is the fix for the show.
Somebody will literally die.
You
Someone
know,
will literally die.
but my the thought process behind this is that Jocelyn's Cabaret, they have a goal.
Most
Like
times. Most times.
there's something that they're working towards. They're working towards dancing for the cabaret. Jocelyn's Cabaret is the direction that these bitches need.
Yeah. I mean, but people love the fact that I mean, just like Seinfeld, baddies don't about
It's a
nothing.
show about nothing.
You know, like I think people just they're just into that.
It's killing me because they keep saying let's get to the bag, but I'm just like, what are y'all like?
And
Only
there's
three of y'all are performing when y'all do the club appearances. So what the fuck are the rest of y'all doing?
there's no bag to be had. There's no bag to be had. They're in
That
Barbados. How much money you think you're getting? It's just being real. It's being real.
that's the part that confuses me. But the show that you wanted to pitch.
Oh, Bad Boys. Bad Boys LA and there's Bad Boys Texas.
You
Check
know what?
it's niggas fighting this time.
My the security guard at work has been pitching that a lot when we talk about Zeus, and everybody's just like, "Man, we don't want to see no niggas, man."
That listen, you say that now. Bad Boys, they get to it, bruh.
I will pitch it tomorrow if they want. We'll see what they want. I'm using my boss's Zeus account, so if she don't
No,
want to watch, then we ain't watching.
ain't no dinglings or nothing like that showing, but it's
I mean, that's whatever. That's okay.
I'm just saying, Well, actually, you know what I hate? Did they blur
No
out?
equality.
Yeah, they blur out boobs on the baddie shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they blur them out. They don't blur them out on Cabaret. They blur them out
Yeah,
on.
they don't. Cause what is it? She just got her titties done. And she calls them London and Paris.
Yeah, yeah.
And they went to the photo shoot
Wet,
and she
wet.
said, "You mad as hell, huh?" And then
Wet,
pulled her
wet.
shirt down.
Yeah, wet, wet.
Crazy name. But yeah, I will pitch. Actually, I'm gonna pitch it right now. We're gonna watch Bad Boy, and then as a the show that I was watching a whole bunch yesterday was it's called Singles Inferno.
Oh God. But you know
It's
what?
it's just Korean Love Island, but that shit is hilarious.
Why don't you get into the challenge?
Uh, it's not love based,
Baddies isn't love based.
but that's not so. I'm kind of watching that against my will during my lunch break at this point. So, um,
Get into the challenge. I think it's the type of athleticism that you like think you're gonna get in AEW that the challenge is like better than all those shows. 10 times.
I don't know. Like I do. I feel like what Baddies is missing is challenges and eliminations because a lot of these bitches ain't doing nothing.
Exactly. And here's the thing: there's drama, there's strategy. Like I mean, literally, there's no reason to even be adverse to it. It's like legitimately like it is the prototypical reality show. It's like Survivor and a challenge. Those are like the top two. There's all types of shit.
How much fucking is there?
I mean, depends on which year you're watching. Like these current years are about the competition, but back in the day, it was slapping. And the thing is, you're talking about love based ones, but you didn't watch Love Island.
I watched like the first episode.
Oh, okay. I would love your thoughts on the challenge, and I can give you some. Me and Mills actually can give you some recommendations on where to start. It's a great
Just
show.
just give me your favorite season because if you give me three, I'm gonna be overwhelmed because I think that's like three seasons that I have to watch.
Well, let me talk to I'll talk to Mills about it, and we'll convene and we'll give you the best one. I think I'll probably start you in the 30s. But the thing is that there's like it's like a story too. Like there are things that are referenced from back in the day that
Mhm.
that like they go.
Okay, just
You got
conflicts and shit like that.
yeah, you got to find like the best one because people return. You know what I'm saying? People come
Yeah,
back.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
I think. Oh, you know what's actually funny? Johnny Bananas, he has like an interview show, I think. What are the niggas
yes,
on the
yes.
challenge?
Death, taxes, and bananas. Yeah.
Yes, he did an expose on the director at my job.
No way.
Yeah, he was in the building and shit. But it was like on a Monday or something. It was just like a day I didn't work, so I didn't get to see him. Yeah, I remember that happening.
No,
They
nothing
they
worse. Nothing
they
worse. Swerve versus Wheeler Yuta. But let's get to these shows.
what the fuck? You know what? I'm good off not knowing that. All right. We're gonna get in the trenches. Before we do that, I would like to say Singles Inferno is hilarious because the way that these Korean niggas go about dating and shit be fucking hilarious. It's very different from how we do. So it's just a lot more stranger.
What's that on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's like 3 seasons now. The first season got the baddest bitch in the fucking universe, bro. But in the trenches. So literally as I'm uploading the episode, hours later, we get a confrontation. We get news about a confrontation in the AEW locker room. It is the Britt Baker MJF situation. I'm sure everyone has heard a lot about this and a lot of the quote unquote misconceptions that they're trying to clean up about the whole matter. Um Britt Baker is backstage saying that MJF and Will Ospreay is going way too damn long. And yes,
Yeah,
you are right.
yeah. I mean, her. Here's my thing. Her problems with it notwithstanding, the big issue here is that Britt Baker is a repeat offender. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that that is a major reason why this happened this time because AEW they do not shy away from suspending a nigga. And I mean, you even got people like Sammy Guevara who like got suspended so many times. And I mean, for someone who's supposed to be a big deal, he's like stuck on collision. You know what I mean?
He on ROH now.
Oh yeah, ROH, yeah, like that's how bad, that's how bad it got for him. And
Mm-hmm.
with Britt, it's like you pay her way too much money to be putting her in those types of situations that Sammy's in. So what are you gonna do with her? And I think that's my question is that like we saw how she was handled tonight on Dynamite.
Yeah, that
And
was kind of embarrassing.
it was weird, right? But it's like there's just no way that and again you're blurring the lines. Oh, and we'll get to that segment when we
Well,
talk
well,
about the show, but
the thing is, yeah, but the thing is that they're we'll do a full circle back to the situation, but they're trying to blur the lines, but we already know an excruciating amount of detail about the matter. So you're not really you're only fooling the person that doesn't have a Twitter, and who the fuck is that?
yeah, and again, back to back to
The situation.
the real life situation.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question is that like okay, is how big is MJF's influence, which seems to be massive, and how waning are the other people around him or surrounding him? Like it seems to me that MJF is like on a level of like an elite in terms of like power that they have in this company to do this shit. Because I mean, there's so many stories that have come out about him. Well, he didn't punch the wall here; he punched it over here, right? He's like he punched the
Yeah.
wall down the hall. It wasn't in front of the women. He asked to come in politely. Then he argued. It's just like either way you cut it, Punk got like the Bucks got suspended for just walking in the room on Punk. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
MJF did the same thing. Like again, like what's the blurred line here? And I think that this situation is just blown up so big that now it's like, suspension's done and over with. But like at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, like this whole thing's weird. No one's explaining what's going on, and that's why people are getting frustrated, or people are like they're looking at MJF kind of funny.
Yeah. I think that both people not getting suspended for this is kind of crazy. Like, oh yeah, Britt Baker says your match is going too long. Was that worth a confrontation? Because I'm sure there's a lot of motherfuckers back there that thought the same.
But I mean, there was a report that said MJF and Britt had fallen out of, they'd fallen out. They
Yeah,
fall in favor with each other. This might have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But in that situation, Cyrus, if you are, you know, a leader in there, and if they've had blow ups about this, if she's been liking tweets about MJF for months, get him in a room. I think that is the main issue with AEW is that they do not know how to solve conflict. And
yeah,
there's
they
no
don't.
one there that knows how to solve these conflicts. But there's also no
You
stakes. I'm sorry, go ahead.
you really have to wonder why Tony Schiavone is talent relations,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
especially when he's like friends with Britt Baker. Like that's a conflict of interest in itself. And then you just have to wonder, like, really what this disciplinary committee is like willing to, like, what are they doing?
Nothing. Apparently, like absolutely nothing. I think the suspension it's only out of line because it was just her. But again, MJF is in a big storyline and you can't suspend him right now. So I mean, fuck it. She's just in a women's storyline. I mean, who cares about that? I mean, we got
Yeah,
Monet. I think this is gonna be an issue where there's no way that you can keep Britt satisfied or happy in this company with the way that things.
after that.
Yeah, like no one comes back from an AEW suspension and says, "I'm going to clean up my act." They only get worse.
Every time. And then also what is it, I remember when we were just in the Discord like talking about it, and then you said the same thing on the A show, but it was just like, this is like Britt Baker, we know her history, of course, and it was heavily documented because it made such good television until it didn't. um she can terrorize Thunder Rosa all she likes, but as soon as it came to that white man, uh shut up and take the suspension.
That's how it's going to be when these white women vote for Trump in November. They say you take
Yeah,
your rights.
like I think that like really does suck for Britt Baker. Like I'm not being like, oh, she does like deserves justice or whatever. Be suspended, whatever. But it not being equal, it is very weird because it's MJF who is the aggressor and who is the one that, um, well, it was really his girlfriend that escalated the situation, but he escalated it like further. Um, she should probably go too. Uh,
She's a stooge.
I
Girl's a
yeah,
stooge, bro.
a stooge. Like if I was any other like woman or whatever, I would actually not want to be around her. Because like even if I'm not talking shit about MJF and I'm just talking shit about something else, you clearly gonna tell a motherfucker about it.
Like Meal on the A show. Wait till you get home.
Yeah.
What is you doing?
I just didn't really think that her being like, man, these guys are getting a lot of time and we're getting nothing was worth a confrontation of any sort, even if it was as innocent as these dirt sheets tried to make it seem as it was. And if a situation was so handled so lightly and stuff like that, why he punch a wall after?
So with some cussing involved, right?
Yeah, like you don't come away from a calm confrontation punching a wall. It's like, do y'all think we're fucking stupid? White men are famously punching walls after being aggravated and angry.
White men love to punch a wall. Let me tell
Wall hate to see white men coming.
bro, these poor walls in AEW, I swear, like they can't stop being punched and kicked and all of this stuff. So
Yeah, and then these reports also says that like Will Ospreay also had like some choice words for her. So I thought that was like really, and nobody like went into detail at that at all. They just said like Ospreay got to her first. I was
he
like,
talk too
okay,
goddamn much. He do too goddamn much. Go sit your ass down.
yeah. I don't know. This is a very stupid situation, and I don't think it's only gonna get worse because, like as you said, like somebody gets suspended and it doesn't get any better. And I don't think that you're personally gonna be in good standing. Like Britt Baker's not really gonna like fuck with you after you just did that. All the loyalty for what? Just to get booted because she said this motherfucker was getting too much time? Kiss my ass.
She
Um,
she certainly looks interesting on Dynamite today, and we'll talk about that later.
yeah, that was embarrassing. Um, Pentagon and Phoenix are in contract negotiations, but it's slowing down on the AEW front. Reports have come.
They've all but been like kind of taken off TV. I think the last time
Yeah,
they've been on TV was like what the first time I guess hosted here.
I think so. Let me, because yeah, I think like Death Triangle had like something to do not too long ago.
It was
Uh,
right after Pac won that little match that he still hasn't even gotten a date for his
mhm.
Tinder match. Why did they do that? Or should I just not ask?
Don't ask.
Okay.
You don't want to answer to that. These guys are idiots. Phoenix cage matches. Oh, Phoenix was on. Damn. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was a fucking while ago.
like a
Shit.
month ago, right?
Yeah, just
Yeah.
about.
They've slowly winded them down. Now it's not clear on when exactly their contracts are up, but
Hmm.
if this is any consolation, it seems as though Tony has been informed that they're not coming back, and that's why he hasn't put them on TV. The same way as Daniel Garcia, who MJF has stopped mentioning him. I have. Did you notice that on tonight's Dynamite? He stopped mentioning Daniel Garcia altogether.
Hmm. Let's keep. He should have been stopped mentioning him. I thought that was stupid that he kept doing it. Um, and then yeah, and then Conan's tweet kind of made it seem like very definitive. It was just like what comes around two. He said, "Nigga, you're not getting Vacker, and you're not getting these guys back. They are gone." And
Can't blame him.
yeah, it's just you were never like I just feel like they were never really gonna be like on top
Well,
again. So it's just like it's whatever.
they're
And that's
loved
okay
by
with me.
they're loved by the fans. I think Pentagon's best years are like past him, but I mean maybe he could surprise us going to WWE. I know that there was a report that came out on Fightful today saying that they had kind of pretty much given their notice. They were expected to be going to WWE after their contracts end this year, but they're
Hmm.
also, and this was the strangest part about it, was that and but forgive my phrasing here. I might need to actually like check in on this to make sure I'm saying all of this correctly. But they talking like they don't want to be in NXT, and I'm just like, there's no way they're not going to NXT. There's zero chance they're not going to NXT, right?
I saw that and I said, nigga, y'all better end up on NXT. What the fuck is y'all niggas talking about?
Okay, here's the part. So the idea is that they want to be a package deal. That's fine. I don't think that you sign one without the other anyway. So like that's fine.
Yeah.
Package deal anyway. We get that. However, there was another part of the report that said those spoken to have said that AEW wanted to resign them, but the process kept getting delayed. They said over the past few weeks, it became evident that they weren't going to resign. It capped off by an ominous Conan tweet saying "What goes around comes around" part two. I think the tweet is probably what's keeping them off TV right now because of how close they are with Conan. Um,
Hmm.
and I also feel as though how could the people speaking to them say that? Here's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. If they already knew that, then that means the Lucha Brothers have already kind of, in principle, said they're going to go here. If the negotiation was, oh, we don't know if we're going to NXT or the main roster, they would still be on TV right now because that's the negotiation, right? Like if that's the
Yeah.
whole thing going on, I don't think anyone knows where they're going to end up, right? Like and I think that they don't have. I don't think that they have a choice. Like in the sense of beggars can't be choosers. You don't have a choice where you want to go. You're gonna
Yeah,
go
exactly. It was just like, oh, y'all don't want to go to NXT? All right, stay on AEW then.
exactly. Like they could say fuck off. And I think that the fact that they're not on TV is meaning that WWE has not told them to fuck off and that they've accepted the money or whatever situation that they're going to be at.
Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, nah, y'all motherfuckers don't got no choice, man. Um, put that jumpsuit on. Pentagon, you're washed. So let's go get that back.
Yeah.
Phoenix, you are like injury prone. Like, let's fucking relax. What the fuck
Pentagon,
y'all gonna go up there and do with Randy Orton, man?
Pentagon should be getting the Nakamura deal. He needs to be the Mexican Nakamura, like for sure.
Coasting.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even be mad if he did that. He is for sure the Mexican Nakamura.
Hey,
He gives us
Naka,
he gives
Nakamura
us,
went to NXT. Shit.
gives us one good match and then he coasts, and I'm fine with that. Give
Yeah,
us one good match.
go give Obi Femi a banger, bruh, and go ahead dip on out.
But again, I mean, you look at what NXT is loading up with, and you're kind of seeing on the show they're clearing kind of a path for Motor City Machine Guns if they ever show up. The
Hmm.
Lucha Brothers when they show up. Daniel Garcia if that's something that happens. Stephanie Vacker, Julia. That's a strong roster of stars on that show, and a show that's so kind of sorely needed. A lot of that stuff going on. I'm just wondering how they're gonna handle like the goofy stuff that NXT is gonna have. I think that like the Motor City Machine Guns will probably love that shit. I think the Lucha Brothers will probably be very happy with like the goofy dark shit that they might be able to do. But I'm interested in seeing how they all kind of shake out.
I think the comedy will remain intact as long as we still got Hank and Tank around. I think they're doing a good job with just fucking around and shit. Um, but yeah, no, I think they could do really good in NXT. I don't think they should be rushing to get past that, especially like they're about to get that new fucking CW joint. Why not be a part of that?
Exactly. I mean it's clear that the roster that they're bolstering is coming from that CW money. You know,
Yeah.
and let's just get into it. I mean, the CW, the Instagram account went live this week. Some of the
You sent me that and I went checking for the Twitter quickly, bruh.
Yeah, like they've sparked it up. It's starting to roll out a lot of the promotion, and I mean we should start seeing the SmackDown on USA
USA.
stuff
Really
coming
soon.
real soon. I mean the Netflix stuff should be huge. I'm pretty sure that'll probably be a little bit further down the line because Raw's got the extension, that little small. Hey man, let me stay here till my house is ready. But we're seeing a lot of stuff happening. But bigger than that, it was announced this week that NXT will be going back on the road for their first two shows on October 1st, and I think the next one will be the 8th of October. So it'll
Hmm.
be in Chicago at the Allstate Arena for NXT. That's
NXT's on the road, man, and then you're getting Randy Orton and CM Punk pulling up.
Yeah, man. And again, this will be in the middle of their Bad Blood push and promotion. So I don't
Oh,
think they'll be the only people there that week, those weeks either.
Seth the Rooney, come on down. What?
Exactly. And major, major, major implications of what's going on. I think the AEW should go ahead and probably tuck their weekend because
Oh yeah, when they go head to head,
the next week on the 8th, yeah, they go head to head on that Tuesday, Title Tuesday versus NXT in St. Louis.
time to lay y'all niggas to bed.
Oh, the whining is gonna be too much. It's gonna be way too much, bro.
Hey, NXT, what they at, man?
We'll
Well,
see.
wait, when them NXT numbers, boy, when them NXT numbers up.
Well, they're gonna be up, right? By proxy of the fact that CW is just in more homes. So
Hmm.
I think like the idea that NXT will be doing 700, 800 is possible. It's definitely possible, but we'll see who carries over, who comes over. I mean, CW is in a lot of homes. I think we tried to check that on the A show this week. It's in a lot of homes.
Hmm.
It's
This
just
is
about
basic cable.
Yeah, because on basic cable. So you have to pay to watch AEW. So we'll see how that shakes out.
Yeah, man, can't wait for NXT on CW. I'm hoping for the new look. I'm excited for them to be on the road. I don't know if that's going to be a constant or not, but I think that'll be very interesting. Please come to Miami. Uh, I think all that stuff would be really cool. But that is not the only new TV thing that was
Come
um
Oh, come on.
announced this week. We got TNT Overdrive, and it's gonna be you're uh you know that show. I don't know the show, but you just watch car crashes and shit on True TV.
Yeah.
That's what the show's gonna be, but you're gonna have AEW stars talk about their wacky, wild adventures. And then I'm looking at the niggas that are on the commercial. What crazy shit Willow getting into?
When you like to know. This reminds me of, and I'm severely aging myself here. When ECW was on TNN and they had Rollerball right after. So it would be the equivalent of Tommy Dreamer talking about, scoring an 8 ball during the commercial break of Rollerball or something like that. Like it's just that's the
Like
equivalent of it.
you got TNT without NBA is crazy. Like you're seeing the terrible programming that they're coming up with. These niggas got ridiculousness with AEW stars on it, bro. Are you serious? This is. I will watch a clip of it for shits and giggles.
Listen, man, everyone says it. Hey, I mean, no NBA, AEW. It's your turn, baby. It's your turn, daddy.
Yeah. And what they're gonna do is fucking watch TikToks. I need to see the viewership. I know that it's gonna do poor, but I need to see that viewership. I think that shit's gonna be very silly and stupid, especially with Collision already down the goddamn shitter.
I mean, 163K last weekend. It's not. I mean, I know the Olympics were on, but I mean, that's. I mean, the other shows have held particularly strong considering
Mm-hmm.
going on, and I don't know.
Yeah, the Olympic coverage ain't that fucking crazy, especially since I'm watching a lot of it on Peacock. Before we get into AEW, I know you said that you watch skateboarding on the Olympics. Is there anything else that you've watched? Because I've been also watching a lot of the Olympics.
No, I haven't. I haven't.
Okay.
I think we had this conversation on the Black Friend. I think that episode comes out this week, but it's very hard to keep up with. It's like a lot of stuff I don't even.
Dog, there's so much stuff.
Yeah, like it's just so much stuff going on, and the times are really weird. And I think if the USA basketball gets to the gold medal game, then I'll watch that. But other than that, I watched skateboarding, and I was like, all right,
I'm done.
yeah, I'm done. I mean, like I said, Niger disappointed me, bruh, and
Shit. Oh my God. Like I remember when it was first on the Olympics. What is it? Zion Wright was like on there, and that nigga didn't even get a medal. And that nigga was like 30th, 33rd place
yeah,
in
no,
some shit. I
bro,
said, damn, they even embarrassing me. I
yeah,
fuck with you.
shit. If I'm Red Bull, I'm punishing this nigga.
um, but yeah, there are a lot of sports on here. I've watched everything of fencing so far, so that's been a 3 week fucking binge. Um, I have to watch rugby because I saw America go fucking stupid during rugby and get the gold. Um, I watched the shooting joint because all the shooters
That went viral.
went viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, this shit boring as hell.
Bro. But well, you wanted them to have actual bullets. I mean, we talked about this. I'm like, they're not gonna have bullets, bro.
I wasn't expecting, I didn't think it was going. It could have just, it could have been something light. You feel me? These niggas shooting fucking pop cap guns, bro. I thought that was lame. Like they not fighting no recoil or nothing. So I just thought the shit was lame. Um,
You be in the crowd. My fucking kidney, nigga.
sailing. I wanted to see sailing because Kyrie Sane was a sailor. Um, and then that's how she got the pirate princess name. But that shit is boring. They're not even in Paris. Like they're on the coast of Tahiti.
I saw somebody say pro wrestling should have been in
Huh?
and then I know I was like, no.
They show me a Greek wrestling promotion.
Who gonna book China to lose, bitch?
Like, are you crazy? Like, you go get South Uganda wrestling versus goddamn Germany? Like,
Boy, the slurs you about to hear.
we already hearing it. But yeah, there's been a lot of Olympic shit that I've been like tuned into, but fencing has been my favorite watch so far. Uh, swimming was cool, but I ain't watch a lot of it. All right, AEW. Swerve speaks to Jim Ross. What'd you think of this segment?
Let Jim Ross stay at home, man. I know he might still want to do it, but I don't think that he got the facilities like that no more, bro. Like it's good to see him out there, but like it just looks sad to have him out there looking like that, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, that shit rough. I the way that they were sitting and the way that this was framed, um, it seemed like Swerve was trying to have the "I am the game" moment,
That is true. You are right. That makes a lot of sense.
but I feel like Jim Ross was asking this nigga questions as if he don't believe in him winning.
Well, Swerve talks about a lot of things. Talking about I mean, Cyrus. I mean, we're bearing the lead. Swerve finally explains why he turned face
Oh yeah,
in the promo. We've waited for this for 8 months.
long ass time, and I think that is something crazy. And then I think that they probably should have had probably Renee Young conduct this interview because I feel like Jim Ross is like kind of like shooty type interview shit was taking a lot away from the
Well,
believability of Swerve.
he kept interrupting him and stuff, and I was like, I felt like that was kind of awkward, in a sense. And then let's just be
Mm-hmm.
clear here, this was the best produced thing on this show this week because the production issues, the
It wasn't
sound,
live.
the audio, exactly, the audio, all of that stuff was terrible this week. It was just there's no fucking. Someone had to talk about this because I feel like people are gonna look over it. The production on this show this week was absolutely terrible.
Yeah, this week is kind of worse. This week is the worst week since they played that one Adam Cole vignette, but nobody in the arena could hear it. So they
Yeah.
played it back when they came back for commercial break. Um, yeah, this was a little bad. Even like it was even affecting commentary. I think it was fucking Taz that just went, ow.
It was like
uh,
it sounded like it was like somebody's unzipping their pants or something. Like it just sounded fucking
it's that's funny.
terrible.
But the actual sound is like it wasn't plugged in all the way. Like
Yeah.
it does a then you does the once it's like secure.
Yes. Yes.
So it just felt like it was like a loose jack just out. And I'm just like, how who is like checking stuff?
Anyway, I'm gonna be real. Nothing for this production has gotten better, and there's supposed to be an ex WWE guy that everyone was talking about as the greatest of all time. That's supposed to be there, and yeah, he did shit.
There's a lot of ex WWE people that I'm wondering what the fuck are they doing over there, but it is what it is. Um, yeah, he finally explained. Swerve finally explains going face and says, can't just trying to say that yeah, I can take Bryan to the limit. Like like I don't have to get ready for Daniel Bryan. Bryan has to get ready for me.
Mhm.
And Bryan Danielson legacy is on the line. And honestly, Bryan legacy stained as fuck. With this AEW run, 3 years of losing every title match. Come on, son. That's not a good look.
They're
And
going
you doing a lot of nothing for most of it,
they're going off legacy here, and a lot of it is talking about legacy and things like that. And
and you can't talk about it. You
I think
can't
a
address
lot
most
of
of his legacy.
in natural AEW form, a lot of this is ass backwards, right? Because you're just getting Swerve talking about why he's even a babyface anymore, right? It's like, okay, was like we could have found this out like months ago. Like, and he says, I kept knocking on the door and people weren't letting me in, and what would you do? And I was like, that was
Turn
good.
face.
You could you could have you could have talked about that a long time ago. I thought that this was the most cogent and clear thing that he has ever done as long as I've been watching it this year. You know what I'm saying, in terms of promos, and it was very well explained. Now his promo at the end of the show a lot less necessary than what was needed here because it's just like you just want the show to go along for no reason. But I actually didn't mind the segment. I thought the segment was all right.
Yeah. It's probably the best thing on the show, all things considered. Um, our main event is Bryan Danielson and Jeff Jarrett in an everything goes match. Brian obviously wins, but I thought this match was very odd because we're talking about legacy, with the Swerve promo. So in this match, I'm just like, what the fuck Danielson got to prove to Jeff Jarrett?
I think that the idea was that Jarrett wanted to get him ready for Swerve, and I guess they're going again. It's all about legacy. Swerve did those crazy
Mhm.
plunder matches, the blood and all that other shit, and I guess that's what they're getting at here. But I'm like, and I think we even said this. Brian's done matches with blood before too, so like I don't I don't know
Yeah, he's
like
done like way like hardcore matches. Like Bryan Danielson has had his, Hangman versus Swerve. He's done Blood and Guts, I think twice. He's done Anarchy in the Arena a lot. So I'm very confused on what Jeff Jarrett was trying to prepare him for when Brian has done every gimmick match, probably except like the Casino Battle Royale or whatever, or a Casino Ladder match.
yeah,
So I was very
and
confused by
again,
this.
and this match was terrible. But it had no energy. It was just like a bunch of like punching and walking and suplexing people on the ground. I don't think it's a good
Mhm.
look to be fighting in a concourse that's like halfway empty and like has like
No
like
merch table.
no horse tables. Nobody like doing anything like that. But like, and again, like Jeff Jarrett's limited. We know this. Bryan Danielson is limited. So it's like, why have this match? Why not just have a regular match? Like you guys can prove that to each other in those, in a different way. Um Jarrett trying to do those chair shots to the knee. It's like it's like hitting a baby with a pillow. I'm just like, it's just there's no oomph to it. And especially when we see
Mhm.
like a lot of crazy shit during this show, just in general, it kind of makes you like the plausibility is just a little off in a lot of ways.
Yeah. We're so, occasionally we'll watch some dude just kick out of a tombstone pile driver like it was fucking nothing. Um, some people will get set on fire and walk off like it was nothing. So I thought this match was like very bizarre. I don't really know why Jeff Jarrett has interjected himself into this. I don't know why. I feel like it should probably be the what's the faction that he's a part of?
Oh,
Brian.
I was about to say no quarter catch you. Blackpool Combat Club.
Yeah. Why isn't the Blackpool Combat Club the ones that are just like, hey, you're saying you're gonna retire. This could possibly be your last title match. Like, let's really get like the iron sharpening iron here
Well, because
and have
he
him work
wrestled all of
Claudio
them.
or some shit.
Hasn't he wrestled all of them before?
I'm pretty sure he wrestled Claudio before.
I think he wrestled Yuta too. And I mean, at the end of the show, you do get that Yuta does come out to
Mm-hmm.
help Brian, and which leads out, which has Swerve come out to do yet another promo, basically going over the same things that he went over in the JR thing. I have no clue why he came out here and to set up a match between him and Wheeler Yuta next week. Which, uh,
Does nothing for either guy.
good luck to that rating when that match happens, because Yuta is fucking ratings poison, and he's also like a really great case for NyQuil, because that's going to be something you can fall asleep on. I will be
Mm-hmm.
flipping to the challenge during that match, but um the promo at the end was superfluous. He just says, he's going to retire Brian, and he wants Brian in the front row when he wrestles Yuta. So I guess you're going to be seeing shades of gray Swerve here, which is weird because he's been such like a white meat baby face for so long.
And he just said why he turned
I
white
know.
face.
It's so weird that they're going this way, but hey, it's AEW. They love their shades of gray, and they're going with Swerve in this sense. I didn't think this match was the greatest though. I think Brian should honestly be wrapped in Saran wrap until Wembley.
He should be. I don't know why he is currently not, but it is what it is. Quick hits. We got MJF versus Kyle Fletcher to open the show. Um
Hal Fletcher is the ugliest man I've ever seen in my life.
hit it's the haircut.
It's his face. It's the face. I mean, you can't
I
listen. You can't be ugly in a star. Cody, handsome. Roman Reigns, handsome. Come on, Drew McIntyre, handsome. To a certain extent, MJF handsome. You want me to keep going?
Stop.
Dom Mysterio handsome. I said Batista handsome. You know what I mean? Randy Orton handsome. You can't be like a top level star and like be looking like the motherfucker a Smurf. Nigga. Like you like he
Hmm.
looks crazy. He looks crazy. I think that everything he does just kind of looks like he's doing like Timu, Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay shit. He is not.
Oh,
He's done nothing to separate himself from those two.
yeah, he's just another guy. I just sent the picture of Kyle Fletcher to my homie. Let's see what she says. Um, yeah, no, people say that MJF is a really smart wrestler, and then he'll have the same stupid like match that everybody else has. And I'm really struggling to like think what makes him special in AEW besides talking on a microphone.
Why was this match so long?
For Kyle Fletcher, who has not been seen on TV in a winning capacity, never.
Kicking out a mad shit, kicking out of stuff that would just finish matches. Top pile
Yeah.
drives. MJF kicking out a match. MJF biting his ear and not getting DQ for it. Uh,
Hmm.
all types. They're fighting in the crowd. Which again, while y'all fighting in the crowd, you're about to do that at the end of the show. Like, what? Like, I'm sorry.
I
Also, the Don
I missed
Callis
that.
situation. The Don Callis situation is Callis going to turn on Fletcher too? Is he just going to break this whole thing apart? Listen, I had
I
I had a crazy idea, but what if Callis and MJF team up? I think that'll be my 13th reason. I think that'll be when I tell you you guys can stop watching this.
kill me, but I think it's going to be worse. I think at some point, how many days we got to Wemby? Like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
I think at some point, Kyle Fletcher is gonna turn on Will Ospreay.
Oh,
And
because
it
because
where were you when he was beating me up? Oh, I was being held by 3 boxes, mate.
that shit was silly too. Also, why did it take him so long to get there? You know what? I think production fucked up. I think production fucked. I get it. Walk with me. Walk with me.
I'm walking.
The video that shows Will getting out of the door or getting out of the place was supposed to be shown after, way after. They showed the video first, then they showed MJF beating up. They were showing MJF beating up Kyle. I think that the way that it was supposed to go, and I'm thinking here because I'm thinking production brain, is that MJF's beating up Kyle and talking to Will, but then they show the video as when the beating has gotten bad enough and he can't get out. Or Will brutally fucked up and he was supposed to do a lot more struggle, but the box had nothing in it and he just opened the door fast because he just
Dope.
kicked the door open. He just kicks it.
Hmm.
There's no struggle at all. And it looked like it was an empty like case.
Also, there are like mad people standing outside that door. Y'all telling me none of y'all heard him asking to leave?
The way that the length that it took for him to get to the ring, you would have thought that he was in another arena.
So stupid, man. um, I definitely think that's gonna be, Kyle Fletcher turning heel and being like, "Where was you when I needed you?"
If Osprey loses to MJF twice, you have listen. If this was supposed, I
Hooked
kept hearing people saying this gonna be their Cody. This gonna be their Cody. How many times he losing in lieu of getting to that title?
once.
Twice.
Oh yeah, he had to lose the tag title at some point, I guess.
Well, actually, it might have been under. Well, I mean, from the first time he got back to Mania, never.
Yeah.
From Mania to when he got the title, maybe 4 times, maybe four. So two
Hmm.
years, 4 losses. So that was what it was. Roman, Brock once, tag titles once, right? and he might have lost to Drew. I think he lost to Drew late last year. So 4 times.
You know what the funny part is about this? That you're saying this, and we're having this discussion. This is for a fucking mid card belt,
Oh yeah.
not
Yeah.
even the world title.
I forgot
But
about
but Osprey is just such a gracious wrestler. He didn't want to undermine Swerve,
boy.
so
I
he is
would have said
foregoing everything.
I would have said sorry, nigga, and I would have took that title, bruh. I
I'm
would
taking this title to new heights, bruv.
I would have politicked my way to a AEW title, bro. You ain't politicking enough, nigga. Give me that shit.
Like it's so easy to just be like Swerve not doing shit for y'all. Give me, and that would have been it. That would have been perfect, honestly. Um, yeah, I'm just gonna move on from the match. I don't have anything much to say. This is another match I didn't really pay attention to, but we're just gonna talk about the post match for the most part. Mariah May defeating
Viva Van.
Viva Van. I wish Quan was here because who the fuck is Viva Van?
She does a lot of stuff out here in SoCal. I've seen her live before, and I've seen some of her matches on a couple of indie shows I've watched. She's okay. I'm not gonna gas it. She's okay. I do think that for someone who I believe this is her first time on AEW, or maybe her first or second time, I don't think it would have
Yeah.
hurt to have. I don't think it would have hurt to have Mariah squash her the same way she squashed. Like, why was Mariah able to squash the girl last week, but not her? Like, if you want Mariah to look strong, why not just have her squash some
Yeah.
people on the way to Tony? You had a 7-minute match with a commercial break.
With someone who has never been on Dynamite.
It's a bunch of nothing. Just a bunch of Mariah doing offense
Mm-hmm.
and doing slight comebacks, hits her with the Storm Zero, then it ends. After it's over, Mariah gets a gift that's all wrapped up, and it's from Tony, and it's a picture of Tony with the word "Die Mariah Die" on the back, and Tony
Mm-hmm.
Storm comes back. Tony Storm still look like Michael Myers, and the ref stopped them, and they do a pull apart.
The pull apart was Tony Storm did the disguise thing like 2 weeks ago. No?
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
She didn't do it on the episode that it was plus. I did it. I think she did it the last time we did an episode.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, she did. She did the because she did that crazy promo. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Why are we doing this again? The exact same angle. Except I guess they added a picture frame this time.
I mean, I don't hate a lot of this. I think that you still could have had Tony like come back a lot like later. Like this week could have been the week. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like this could have been the week. She cuts up. She's had a match already. Like Tony's had a match already.
Yeah, and that show did abysmally. Had her return on the Battle of the Belts. Are you fucking dumb?
They're trying, bro. It slapped, bro. Be quiet, E drone.
um, yeah, I'm just gonna move on. Shibata versus Bounty Keith. Get this nigga to fuck off my screen. I tweeted it. If you are a wrestler that results Chris Jericho or Don Callis to be on my screen or on my ear, I hate you.
Jericho's mic was so loud
No,
during
he just screams on commentary. That's like his thing. He's always done that. He's always screamed on commentary.
like it was not funny. It was not great. This match was not great. Uh I'm gonna need to see something else from Brian Keith because I don't know what all the hype was about. And maybe it was just because he's playing this character. But Shibata, the way that he works now, Cyrus, is that
Mm-hmm.
they work with him so softly that they're not actually laying any hits in because I think that they are very afraid of hurting him, like for real. And if that is the case, stop having him work so much or at all. He could just be a fucking coach or something like that. He doesn't need to be in ring talent if you're not even going to be able to work. Like after this match ends and Shibata obviously wins the match, I'm calling him Big Cass. I'm sorry, what's his name? Big Bill comes in and he hits him in the back like with a forearm so softly that I was just like, oh, because he ran really fast and he said boop, and I was just like, oh, okay, well, they're all working softly with Shibata, and it again, this match didn't need to be. I think this match was like 7 minutes long. I think I counted. Didn't need to be this
It's
long.
about.
It could have been a segment. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't a good match.
I Niggas was really gassing Bounty Keith because he came out to still tipping. This nigga's boring.
He's pretty boring.
Shibata, Ice, he never needed to come back, honestly. I feel like it was very good for him to come back and like for him to be healthy and wrestle again. Like that's great. Comeback sport story of the century or whatever. But I'm not feeling it.
I
Like we don't need to do this anymore.
Again, if you thought this was like next level shit, then more power to you. But I felt really nothing for this, and Jericho really ruined a lot of it for me. He needs to stay off commentary.
Him and Don Callis needs to stay off commentary, but they keep ending up there. They do not need a 4-man booth with three of the worst commentators. You already have Tony Schiavone not adding or saying any sort of bullshit. And Taz is good sometimes, but then he tends to really just go on random fucking tangents or just starts bickering stupidly with Tony Schiavone. And in Excalibur, he's just bad in his own unique way.
Yeah, there was points where Tony would just say stuff like, they would be like, "Is this our first time here?" And then Tony said, "I think so. Yeah." It's like, okay, like he just adds nothing to commentary.
Like
This is the worst booth ever. I hate Pat McAfee. I'm glad he's gonna be gone in the next couple weeks. But like,
yeah, I can't wait to watch Raw.
yeah, like he's gonna be gone. There's gonna be a new guy taking his place. Hopefully he's okay. But like,
Nothing's worse than Pat. I'm sorry.
but again, it's like commentary just in general all night was terrible, and this was another part of that. But match ends, they start beating up on Shibata. Let me be clear here. They decided to start this whole thing where Hook and Joe and Shibata were a stable, knowing
Mm-hmm.
that Joe had to go film what I'm assuming is Twisted Metal, which is where he's at right now, right?
Yeah.
Did it anyway.
Um, very, very dumb for them to do that. I thought this would be wrapped up a long time ago. Um, but this results in the return of Hook after being fireballed by the Grand Wizard Chris Jericho. Um, and then once again, you have the 6 foot Redwood with Big Bill
Yeah.
running from a nigga that is 5'7",
They
who
beat
is also outnumbered.
he beat all them niggas. That's like the AWA though. Like they'll have one person beat everybody up, then they'll all back off.
Like, and then they threatened that they were gonna like run back up again, and then they walked it back. I
Shibata neck barely can like turn to the right. So like you could just run back in there and realistically,
handle his ass.
yeah, like he can't do anything. So when is worse? No, not worse. When is Hook's contract up? Because he needs to go too.
Who?
He's not growing here.
Hook?
Yeah, Hook.
I I think Taz has to see that this is not working for him, right? Like he just knows that he's like his son is not growing at all here, right?
Well, if he does, he ain't gonna say nothing about it. But I'm pretty sure that he sees it. Yeah, they don't even have Hook go work at New Japan or AAA or anything like that. He just does AEW all day.
Yeah,
Never.
like send Hook to Strong or some shit, you know? Like I don't think that he should be around Chris Jericho. I don't think he should really be in AEW because there's nobody there to actually help him learn.
This feud has gone on for so long, bro. He's been
And
feuding
he's
with
still
Jericho.
the same nigga that he was. A year ago.
He's been feuding with Jericho since the spring, and it's almost fall, and they're still feuding. It's crazy, and no one's gotten over or any more over because of it.
Yeah. It's
Crazy.
absolutely ridiculous. Moving on. We got Orange Cassidy versus FTR, Roderick Strong, Roosh, and this new guy. Um,
Oh, Beast Mortal.
yeah, Beast Mortal. Sorry, I was trying to find his name.
Beast Mortal.
Um, did commentary explain why Roderick Strong is tagging with these niggas and not Undisputed Era? I mean, Kingdom.
Wasn't it explained last week? I felt like it was explained
Yeah,
already. I can't remember though. I mean, I just there's so much shit that I've
I ain't
watched.
watched last
I do
week.
feel like they explained it, um, because they were in that weird tag match a week ago or 2 weeks ago when I was on the show, where it was kind
Mhm.
of like haphazard and it was a bunch of people just in like weird teams, and they got the win. And so that's probably why they're teaming up again. Is because they were all tagged together during that week.
I think it was odd to like call this for the rematch. But it must have been a hit on Collision, but since nobody saw it, let's run it back. And then they couldn't because travel issues.
Yes,
Um,
Kyle O'Reilly wasn't able
and
to appear on the show.
I believe the Briscoe as well.
And the Briscoes, yes, they were having there was a tornado or a hurricane about to hit North Carolina, so um
Mhm.
that's why it kept them from there. But long match here, longest match on the show. Next to I believe it was this and the MJF match. This is extreme. This had two commercial breaks. Um,
Yeah.
so much cheating on the during this match. The ref looked. There were six people on the heel side cheating. Six, and the ref saw none of it. And this happened multiple times. So I mean, I'm so basically a typical FTR match, but um, a lot of back and forth here. I thought Roosh and Mordos looked really good here. I thought they looked kind of badass. Um, OC just continues to be like my least favorite thing on these shows. Anytime I watch it though, I can't get with his stick.
I saw Quan tweet that he really liked them, so I think that told me everything that I need to know about Youngblood. I can't say I was necessarily impressed by this match at all because it very much just seemed like a nothing tag match. Because I was just really questioning why the fuck is Roger Strong with these guys if Undisputed Kingdom were not even rings, like they weren't even in his corner, they were like in the seats. That just seemed really silly to me. Um,
Get everybody in. I mean, even like here's the thing: the matches were long this week because and the thing is the matches were long and it wasn't because of the fact that these people had travel issues. They were just long to pad out shit. Like this match was just long as shit
mhm.
for no reason. It felt like a collision match. Like it was
Yep,
just
because it was because nobody saw it on Collision, so they say, "Oh, let's just run it back." Tony had fun when he saw it. He just wished more people did. Um, but yeah, no, it's just another one of those six-man tags where I'm just like, "Yep, there's just a whole bunch of bullshit going on," and then you kind of just tune the fuck out or go to the kitchen.
uh,
Um,
ending or final stretch.
yeah,
Orange Punch, Shatter Machine, FTR wins.
no,
Uh, then
I was
after
not paying attention.
then after the acclaim come out and we get our 15th audio issue of the night where Max can't
Could
cut
he
the
even cut his promo?
and then I mean it was a good save by Dax. But you know, a lot of audio issues. There's another pull apart brawl. Uh it's looking like it's gonna be FTR acclaimed in the Bucks at Wembley. Cool, I guess. I'm pretty sure. Like, is there time to even do like a number one contender match? I guess they could do it on Collision. They acted
Yeah.
they acted as if the acclaim didn't work at AEW or were not supposed to be on Dynamite this week. And I was just like, are you guys just like SmackDown Super? Oh, I'm sorry. Like you can't be there. But it was weird that the security was already there. A lot of pull
Mhm.
brawls this week. I guess that was the theme for this week was pull apart
This
brawl.
was this was the go home show for a pay-per-view 3 weeks away. Um they need to do a number one contenders match. I don't see why they're not doing it or haven't announced it yet. And also, why are we trying to fight over who's number one when we have rankings?
Why are the Bucks not on the show? Are they on vacation?
I'm hoping that they also had travel issues.
I don't think they did. They because they weren't on last week, right?
I can't say.
I don't remember. I don't think they were on last week. I know I was watching. I know I dipped, but I'm pretty sure I didn't see them last week either. Were they suspended?
Suspended for handling the situation. I don't know, but that is it for AEW.
We're not gonna talk
Um,
about CEO.
oh, Mercedes Moné cuts a promo that was very bad. Camille has a match against two.
Let me get the story here.
Yeah, whatever the story is.
Camille has a squash match against two people or two women.
Mm-hmm.
Not impressive in the least bit.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they look like middle schoolers.
Mercedes, there, mind you, and I'll give her this. They were chanting CEO the whole time. They were chanting. That was the first time I've heard anyone chant for her in quite some time. So I'll give them that. But on the mic, she says, "Don't even think about chanting DMD." And I was just like, "There, none of them are chanting DMD."
Yeah, you prompted that. Stupid.
And so she says, "Britt's not here, because she's suspended." And I said, "Y'all need to stop doing this. Y'all need to stop doing
Mm-hmm.
the suspension because you know what they did? They tried to make it seem like the Bucks suspended her, but they didn't say why."
Knowing Dan, yeah.
Didn't say why she got suspended. So
And then also it's just like your audience is insanely online. Like they're not like, why would you even want them to suspend their disbelief for that? Like, come
exactly.
up with a better lie.
Britt Baker, well, Tony Schiavone comes out and says Tony Khan has overruled the Bucks
I hate
and
when he does this.
lifted the suspension of Britt Baker, and she's there via satellite. So now we're to believe that Britt is still suspended, and her suspension does not lift until next week because that's when she says she's going to be back. She says that AEW is her home, and this is just another flavor of the month for Mercedes, and that if something doesn't go her way, she'll be out of here. Typical boring work shoot bullshit. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'll tell you this. This promo wasn't particularly delivered as if there was any fire or as if this person actually cared or was emotional about this.
I
Uh,
feel like if it was to be like face to face or something, then it would have been. I don't know. The energy you couldn't really feel the energy or the intensity inflictions or anything like that from this video here. It just felt like, oh, you're gonna suspend me, but can you do this video first?
yep. Yeah. It was awkward to say the least, especially
Mm-hmm.
all of the news coming out about like what happened. Um, but I don't think the AEW does themselves favors by bringing up
Suspensions.
this stuff, and you realistically could have just said she's banned from the building. You know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Like you don't have to do that. I think that like they go too deep into the mud. And I think when you do shit like this, it's more reason why I think that when people come back, they're not happy. So I
Yeah,
don't.
because you're making light of a real situation.
Yeah.
Um, Now that's it, right?
Yes, that's it.
I'm not missing anything.
That's it.
I'm trying to go into the memory bank real quick. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. All right. NXT, Great American Bash.
Part two.
DOS. I thought this was really cool. What I thought was did they're having the usual WWE barbecue that they do for 4th of July, but they're doing it like now. And I don't know why I thought that was really funny.
Them cold
Uh
ass burgers and hot dogs, bitch.
I
How y'all grill? That's a hazard to grill
yeah,
indoor.
why them doing it inside is also really funny. Um they should have did it in the parking lot.
What you shit, nigga. Everybody.
I think that would have been funnier. You know, they do it in the NXT parking lot, but the rule is like no fighting. But it's the NXT parking lot, you know.
Bro,
Somebody gonna get kidnapped.
somebody coming out with a crowbar, bitch. And
Mm-hmm.
they killing the nigga, bro. Real shit. But you have the opening, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the show opens with
Pete Dune.
Pete Dune and Trick Williams.
I thought this match was really good and it had a very shocking result. Um, but Trick Williams is getting a lot of new stuff in his offense. We haven't seen him. I think it's only been a week, but he seems like to have a lot of new stuff in his arsenal here, and I think that's really good. What did you think about the match before you get to finish?
I thought the match was good. I mean, I think the biggest, I guess we just got to go to the finish here.
Yeah, I just really wanted to talk about the finish. Pete Dunne wins.
Done beats him clean, no cheating, none of that stuff. Beats him.
Yeah,
I
and oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I think a lot of it is the question of like why they're doing this or going this route with Trick. I had him penciled in for weeks to be Ethan Page's challenger on October 1st. But
Hmm.
I mean, the way they're kind of blurring storylines here, Pete Dunne hasn't won in a very long time. And you have to keep him strong on main roster because he's facing Sheamus on the main roster right
Yeah,
now. So I get that aspect of it. But Trick is your biggest star, and having him lose in the opener, and I don't know, like I feel like because of how this show ends, this is why it went on first for one, but also why it
hmm
was kind of just like okay, it happened and they move on. It seems to me that Trick is trying to get to another gear, but I
yeah,
don't know if losing streak is the way to do it. But it's not even exactly a losing streak because he just beat Cedric Alexander a couple weeks ago. But
yeah.
um, I don't
I
know.
I guess he's looking for another person to give him that intensity or that fire that Ilya Dragunov gave him. But it's kind of weird here because you didn't really like lose. You kind of just got fucked out of the title. Like somebody was holding your leg. It was a multi-man match. Like he didn't really beat you one on one.
I think it's Trick having to be kind of like legends and former NXT guys to get to where he needs to be. I'm honestly kind of I'm it's strange. I really don't I can't call it. It's probably the most bewildering thing that happens on the show, and that's not to say anything of the ending, because
Yeah.
I feel like with the ending I was like, okay, that makes immediate sense, and it actually makes more sense than what happened in the beginning of the show. But I really hope that they can like kind of like course correct here. I'm going to give them benefit of the doubt here because
Yeah.
Trick is
We still have a lot of time till October.
yes. And he could get that win back. But I also just feel like it's one of those issues where it's like when you have a main roster person that's showing up on both shows, you kind of have to serve both masters there, I guess. And
Hmm.
if Pete hasn't even gotten beaten by Sheamus, you still kind of should have him being strong against someone else. But it's just like you could just have him beat somebody on Raw. But it's like the Raw mid card is like set. Like there's no one really that Pete can
Yeah.
other than like Kofi or Xavier, and they're doing something. So I don't know. It's definitely the most bewildering thing. I didn't hate the match. I thought it was actually really good. I think Pete is actually a really good general out there and made Trick look really good. But the actual finish was just bewildering to me.
Hmm. This is like, but short and simple, it is to just keep Trick and Ethan Page away from one another. In short, honestly, but um, we still have a lot of time till October. If by like September, like the second week of September, or honestly, like post All In, if I'm not seeing that direction with that confrontation or that like something to start heating up Trick versus Ethan Page, that's when I'm gonna start asking questions.
Yes. Yeah. We'll
Um,
see how Trick reacts to this. Because again, also Trick, I think he strives or he succeeds on having adversity. And
mhm.
having that adversity is not necessarily bad for your baby faces. My only thing is that like Pete Dunne ain't really doing nothing, and that's really why the fucking
Yeah.
the loss really got like confused me. So yeah,
Next we got Kalani Jordan defeating Tatum Paxley. Um, Tatum Paxley has gotten really good very
yeah,
quickly.
yeah, very very good. Oh my god, I can't even open my phone without like Instagram attacking me. She's gotten very good, and I think I don't know if you heard this. The PC started to turn on Kalani.
They don't because Tatum Paxley has a lot more going on than Kalani.
I think
She has the weird stalking stuff that she does backstage. She has the doll thing. And then what does Kalani Jordan have?
it's not even that, man. It's personality. She has
Yeah.
personality. And like when you have that personality, it goes a long way, especially when you're in a small room. And I think that it's gonna like Kalani's gonna struggle in small and big rooms because they've really given her nothing. I don't know who she is. I don't know who she
Yeah.
is.
I they should have she was not my pick to win it. So I am going to say that they chose wrong here. If you wanted to give it to a babyface, Soul Ruka was right there.
Hmm.
And if not Soul Ruka, you could have gave it to Last Legend. I don't think Last Legend is like as good as Kalani Jordan, but the room will turn the fuck up for a Last Legend. And if you wanted to give it to a heel, Fallon Henley was right there. I don't think that she was a good pick for this title. Um,
She's losing it. I think that if I feel like she should have lost and not Trick.
oh, true.
I feel like she should have lost and not Trick. I think that it's, but then you like spin her off into Wendy. This is the second most perplexing thing. I think the show actually gets better after these first two matches. I'm not gonna lie, but like you
The
spin
Wendy
her
thing don't work. I mean, the Wendy
exactly
don't work.
like it, like I don't know, man. Wendy is just like
And
uh,
then
it's gonna get weird, and I think
why
it, it,
why does like Kalani Jordan wins, but Tatum Paxley is the one that like has something to do post this. Like what the fuck is Kalani Jordan gonna do?
I think Jada Parker is the shoe in for winning that title. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that that's the long game here.
Get humbled by Roxanne and then gets this.
Yeah, I think that's the long game here. Because I honestly feel like you want to give. It's just so many women that could get that title right now, and I don't think that they want to immediately give it to Vacker or Julia, or they probably could give it to Julia first day, huh? Could probably do that. So I don't know. I don't know. I just again, Kalani is an interesting case because I've never seen too many baby faces that have come out of from 2.0 to now that have kind of been so inert and kind of like not really doing much with their characters as Kalani.
Mm-hmm.
And like she's just there's just like a lack of like I just don't know who she is. And I think back to the Damian Priest documentary where he says, I was like the smiley baby face and I didn't really know who I was. Like, how much is this what they're telling her to do, and how much of this is like who she really is? And it's just I would just like to know who Kalani Jordan is because we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Um, yeah, they're gonna have to figure that out. I don't. I thought the match was good. I like Tatum Paxley a lot. I don't like that she's gonna be wrestling Wendy Chu after this, but maybe she can carry. I say that she could probably carry Wendy Chu, but Wendy Chu should be carrying her. And if Tatum Paxley is going to be carrying Wendy Chu, let's start reconsidering.
This is spooky Wendy Chu. We forgot with the Pete Dunne trick thing. The trick jumps Pete after the match too.
Yeah, yeah, closer to the end of the show. I thought that's what you were referencing earlier when you said to close the show. But
No. I was referencing the other thing that we're going to talk about.
okay. Um, Ethan Page versus Oro Mensa. I think Oro's good.
Yeah,
And if what happens if we're gonna lose one of our major baby faces, I think Oro has taken that spot greatly. He's taken that shit no problem. Um, I like Oro a lot. I think he's really good. Ethan Page is good too, but Oro really impressed me here. I don't we don't get to really see him wrestle often.
yeah. I mean, there's some good stuff here. The Eagle's Edge on the picnic table
Mm-hmm.
was really good. The ref says, "Okay, cool," but I love that they explained it in the moment. Like the ref says, we're not gonna have this go out in a DQ, so that's fine.
Yeah.
A lot of really cool stuff here. That again, like the Oro's just a really great hand. I think that what's missing from him is finding the style that really what he is. I think that his style very much right now is like NXT wrestler, and that's always a good time. But like with Javon, he has something that sets him apart from everybody. We need to find
Mm-hmm.
that with Oro. And I'm hoping that like he finds that. But Ethan's a good hand in in any book here, right? And
Yeah.
he needed a win. He picks up another win. I think they're going to keep giving him these wins so that when he gets knocked off, it doesn't seem like a nothing reign. But again,
Mm-hmm.
looks dominant here, and he had a good match with Oro.
I'm curious who's next for him, but yeah, you're right. Oro does need that, like, I guess the thing that's like unique to him. Like Trick has just like overwhelming charisma. Javon Evans also has like charisma, but like he's a crazy high flyer. Um, I think Oro's lane might be sympathy.
Yeah, he does play
Um,
face in peril.
yeah, he's he's just gonna get what he's just taking what Wesley had. You're just very invested in like what he is doing, and you do want to see him win.
Absolutely.
Um, that goes for all the baby faces, but it's it'll be unique to him, I guess, in a way. Uh, Main event, we got Faxium defeating MSK.
Yes. Fantastic match. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like no doubt about it. They let them go. They let them go. They let them do their
Yeah.
get their shit off. I am very much like getting to the end of my wits of Axiom and Nathan super kicking each other and it being like a near fall.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to happen. Like it needs to match at this point. Um, there's a lot of tension here. There was a lot of build throughout the show. I didn't know this was going to main event. You kind of when I saw Ethan Page was coming out for his match, I was like, oh shit, the I guess the MSK stuff.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, that's not main eventing, and then fucking what that motherfucking name is, man. I forgot his name. He was in the Discord, but he left. Ken.
Yeah.
Ken Ken was just like, you should have known this was a main event. And I said, shit, my bad.
But what do you mean you should have known it was a main event? Oh,
I
but well,
was
I guess because it was oral, but also I love that it was main eventing. It was main eventing, and all of us thought it would be title change. Like it was like
yeah,
that's the
right.
only
Yeah.
way, right? Like, it was like, oh, it's title change. But really fantastic match. I think again, kind of a part two to the to the six man they had the other week. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but what really comes out of it is after the match, Wes is dejected. They all shake hands. They leave.
Mm-hmm.
Wes is ejected. You see Trey Miguel go over. He's crying, and I'm thinking, oh shit, is MSK
Hey.
on Wes?
When he took the couple steps back, I was just like,
What's
didn't
going
notice,
on?
sir.
Wes gives, uh, and this is so Shawn Michaels because this is how he books every one of his guys to fucking finish people off.
Mm-hmm.
But he Wes kicks Trey and he kicks Zachary Wentz in the balls. And Wes Lee effectively turns heel. He attacks his two former teammates and he completes the heel turn. Mind you, I think we had this conversation a year ago that we thought that it was going to be Wes who was the one who took out Trick.
Yeah.
Like we thought that was going to be it, and we thought that was going to be the turn. And I want to kind of get on my soapbox here as to why I thought this was so effectual and why I think that this is probably
Okay.
one of the most interesting things that they've done, especially when it comes to the WWE TNA connection, right?
Yeah.
Those two guys don't work there. I think that's just number one. But I think when you look at this is a story that when you have two creative teams, you have to have Shawn Michaels and the creative team in TNA say, we are going to break this team up on our show. And this is a big deal because these are two guys that have history. And we've never really seen anything like on WWE television like this. We've seen it we've seen it like with New Japan and AEW. They've done storylines like this there. But this is a storyline
Mm-hmm.
where it's like a former team doing this, and it's effectual because Wes needs a reason or Wes needs something that will make people hate him. I think this is more effectual than him turning on a Trick Williams or Javon Evans because it's people
Mm-hmm.
that know he has a relationship with and history with. And I think that the way that you do it, having him turn Cyrus on a team that's from another company that have history with them. There's so many layers there that I feel like this is probably one of the coolest like kind of turns that they've done in NXT because it's so many layers there.
Yeah.
Where now, like you're asking yourself, where does he go from here?
Yeah. I was very surprised by the heel turn. Well, I was surprised they didn't win the title because I was just like, oh man, you're doing the reunion tour, you're doing all this stuff, and then you're just like, yeah, they don't work there, but you have
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say the name that should be said. But you have a lot of NXT people that are going over to TNA. Like what is it? We saw Dante Chen over there. Um we had Tatum. One name keep jumping out, but I don't want to say it. Um so I was just like, oh, it'd be no problem for him to like go over. I'm sure them niggas don't miss that warehouse anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah,
Um
and again, it's like it works so much because it was a great bait and switch.
yeah.
But you hear what Wes said after it happened. He said, "You left me. You left me." And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
The
it's kind of
delusion is setting in.
the delusion, right? And again, it's like you can't really do a losing streak angle like this and not have it come out to be this. I think what this is great for Wes because he's been
I
floundering
think
for
so.
he's
Yeah.
been doing nothing for a long time.
This is
We're
new for him.
exactly like we're in an influx of baby faces. That's one on NXT. People need to turn. And again, the same thing I said with SummerSlam. This is a big reset button era for what's going on. There's new TV deals coming. I wouldn't be shocked if this wasn't the first or second turn that's happened. And again, like even more softer than that. I mean, you fully fucking turned Lola Vice. So we should have known that it wasn't going to be
Hmm.
the last turn that was going to come out of the at least from out of the men's side, right? So
Yeah.
um, incredibly effective angle to end the show. I'm interested in seeing how this happens again because it's like these are two guys. You know what I mean? It's like so who's Wes going to find for his second guy? Could it be uh could it be Daniel Garcia?
Shit, I don't see his ass ending up. I don't see his ass ending up on Dynamite.
When is his contract supposed to be up?
Man, we don't know until Fightful tells us.
Yeah, that is true.
When when Tony give them the okay to tell us.
Yeah, that is true.
Uh,
I think you do what you do here is you do the one-on-one with Zachary Wentz and Wes. And then if you were to have someone like a Daniel Garcia pull up, you say, all right, I want to face both of you. I'm gonna have my own partner and then debut him there October 1st.
I don't think West needs a new partner. Let him let him do this heel thing on its own. But I do think like it'd be cool for him to be Daniel Garcia to be in that orbit. Uh, yeah, that's all. That's all I had to say. um I tweeted it earlier, but there is a really cool shot of Axiom and Zachary Wins doing the Spanish fly.
Yeah.
And that is probably one of the coolest NXT photos I have seen this year. Um,
It's a really cool shot, right? Right in the
yeah,
midair. It's really cool.
yeah, midair, and you got this. The spotlights are like gleaming a little bit. Whoever took that shot, that shows fire.
Hey,
Um,
one more thing. Don't count out like I don't think people should count out the fact that like the Rascals like could ever get back together too. I think
mhm.
absolutely could get back together. This is to me seeming like Gargano Champa-ish to me. But I think that like Zachary Wentz, if things go well, Trey Miguel, if he wants to come around this time, you could see them probably I could see them on the main roster for sure.
Yeah. Um, I Wesley is very prone to go into a depressive episode, so um, it would be it
I
would be
told
the
you
craziest thing for him to get back with them.
this is what I love about this thing. I mean, come on, Johnny and Champa are friends again on the main roster.
Yeah, it's nothing. Yeah, it's whatever. What is it? Cody, Randy, KO, Sammy. Shit, we about to see the Bloodline do some crazy shit.
Yeah, it all works.
Hey, nobody really holds a grudge. You feel me?
Exactly.
Okay, quick hits. We got Joe Hendry defeating Joe Coffey. This motherfucker does it again. He makes Gallus tolerable.
Good match.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
good match. I think we owe all of that to Joe for sure.
Both Joes.
Yeah, both Joes. I think again, I've never had an issue with the in ring, and again, they made Hendry look good. Hendry picks up the win. He says, "I think I'm gonna come back next week," and I'm like, "Jesus Christ, TNA, y'all, well, y'all don't got nothing for him to do."
I'm saying y'all just gonna let him go like be here week to week. Y'all not trying to capitalize on this?
Fuck it. I mean, NXT capitalizing on it more than they are, so fuck it.
Yeah. That nigga using a gym. Niggas really got mad at that. I thought that was stupid.
All this shit like that.
Yeah. Ren Sinclair defeats Kendall Gray.
Yeah,
I think Kendall Gray is good.
she is good. I
She's
think
very impressive to me.
I think that Ren needs a little bit of work. I think Kendall should not be wrestling circles around you, but
Yeah.
she will be getting better because now she is a member. I'm throwing it up. Of
Did you stick your tongue out while you did it? That's how you got to do it. Did you
I
pop
said,
your shit too?
I said, ah. I said, ah. Just like that.
um, I think that these two are like polar opposites. I need to see Kendall Gray talk, show some personality. I think they're already pretty good, and it's only gonna get better. No way she could get worse, right? Um,
Yeah, I hope not.
Rin Sinclair, you need the in-ring work, and your personality is great. You're making No Quarter Catch Crew very tolerable. So, um, that's cool with me. Um, she's in No Quarter Catch Crew, as you said, so this should be really cool.
Yep. Next week we get the match. And the part of the qualifier for her to win the match was that he would get a rematch with
Tony D'Angelo.
D'Angelo for the Heritage Cup next week. So that match is
Mhm.
happening next week. I think it's about time for Tony to drop that. It seems to me like it's gonna happen because all show he's been undercutting Oba and Oba's been undercutting him. I could definitely see Oba getting fed up with that shit and just
Mm-hmm.
do something about it next week.
Beat young blood ass. Yeah, I think Tony D'Angelo is really good. I think he's getting worse under the Heritage Cup rules.
That's
That cup needs to be melted down. Who's going to be the heel to do
I
it?
thought he was gonna melt it down and make it a chain or a ring or something, but he didn't. They
Yeah,
could, they
he,
could
he
realistically retire that after Charlie wins it again because I don't see anybody else needing to have a match with that.
yeah,
The
that
people who
stipulation.
people who needed that stipulation are gone. And Gnome is gone, and I just don't. I think Charlie can do a lot better. They just keep it and say, well, from now on, we're retiring the Heritage Cup. We're going to keep it in a case.
Yeah, it's dying with me. Shit, fuck it. Who cares?
Exactly. Like no one would give a fuck. Nobody would give a shit. This is something that's stuck around since NXT UK. NXT UK has been gone for 2 years. It is over. Like
Damn, it's already been 2 years.
yes. They shot it in the head.
As soon as the world opened.
Yes, on a PLE, they shot it in the fucking head.
Yeah, see your boy later. Dow. That was a very rough time for a lot of them because a lot of them didn't know where the fuck they were staying,
Yeah.
or if they were staying or not. And a lot of them got let the fuck go.
They go 0-5 on the PLE. So
Okay. Hank and Take Barbecue. We talked about it, but I'm just gonna rush through the things that happened during it. We got Jada Parker wanting a title shot. Roxanne stopped by and just said kind of nothing and then just left. I thought that was a very weird. Like she didn't interact with anybody. She just said, "Huh, this shit looking lame," and then left.
I beat these are a bunch of niggas that I ain't beat yet, huh?
Yeah, that was odd. The OC came, talked some shit, said their burgers was cold. Nigga, you are 45 at a 20-year-old's party. Get out of here. Um, it seems like that's something that they're gonna do next week. Um, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but Rob Stone and
Stevie?
Stevie Turner, Ace of Wangs. They had a Wang eating contest.
Oh, the shit out that nigga. I was like, damn.
Yeah, she was like, "We got to go tell Ava. I'm gonna tell Ava." What? And it ran off. Um, is Stevie is Stevie Turner done wrestling? Like, what's going on?
I don't know. I
Can she defend Ava's honor and wrestle?
do you want to see it though? I think that Jordan Grace match had them like, yeah, come move this desk.
I don't like them like giving up on folks that like seemingly has potential because this is what NXT is for.
They're not giving up. I mean, she has something to do. She's on TV every week, and I think that's a lot more than she would have been had she kept wrestling. Because there's just so many women on there that probably are better than her, maybe right now.
Yes. Kendall,
So
Kendall Gray smoking her ass.
I mean, I guess like I'm pretty sure she wrestles on live events. I think I've seen. So I don't think she's over in that
Okay.
sense, but um I
I think
think
so many. I think she has to wrestle and like defend Ava's honor.
yeah, and again, like there's so many people on the roster that like not everyone gets a chance, and I think that if I was her, I'd be looking at this like I'm winning because I'm with the GM in a brand where they're just now starting to do the GM thing, you know. So,
Mhm.
um, I look at it as a win for her. I think that if she doesn't have to go out there and fight for a spot, she could be in a spot where she could just be doing all types of things every week.
All right, you win. You taught me down, but I do. I would still like to see her in a wrestling capacity at some point in time. I think that'd be nice.
I don't think she's done. I'll say that. I don't think she's
Yeah.
done. But we'll
Okay.
see how that shakes out. I would hope.
Uh, yeah, I would hope she's not done. Chase U has a segment. Chase U will be wrestling Faxium, but it's not going to be uh Duke and Andre Chase. It's going to be Ridge and Andre Chase. And to that, I say I don't care.
I don't have them winning this, but to drive the wedge, I think that they'll. I honestly think Duke is going to cost them the match. But
That's cool with me. Sure.
I I I get it. They're going somewhere with it. I'm not mad at it. I'm willing to see it play out. Again, NXT is a very simple booked show. They don't need to make it much more complicated than that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that if they're trying to drive the wedge there, and I say this again, I said it the last time I was on the show, it's time for them to move up to the main roster. I think it's time for them to go.
Yeah, I think this might be because everybody's getting title matches in Chase U, except what's his face?
Riley,
Riley. So yeah, I do think this might be I've been calling this the Chase U curtain call for a minute. So
yeah.
I would not be surprised if it was. So I'm okay with that.
Shouldn't be seeing the CW longer than a month. I'll say that.
I pray to God.
Have them debut at the Royal Rumble next year, and then have them go. I'm cool with that.
Um that is it for NXT. I don't think I missed anything.
Really energetic show. I thought it was better than last week's Great American Bash, which was kind of like a one match show.
Yeah, it's just Roxanne and Thea Hale.
Yeah, this is much better than last week. There's a lot of things moving, and I'm actually excited to see what happens next week.
Yeah. I want to see where a lot of these guys are going forward. That was a little bit repetitive, but yeah, I'm excited to see what's going to be going on for a lot of these people post Great American Bash, since a lot of things have changed. One last thing, you see Trick showing up on Raw to fuck with Pete Dunne?
Wait, what?
Do you see Trick going on Raw to like just fuck with Pete Dunne?
Oh, I thought he did. I thought that happened this week. I was like, did I miss something? I was like,
No,
do
no,
I,
no, no.
do I see it happening? No, they've kept it kind of separate for right now. I don't
Mm-hmm.
think you want to have Trick showing up too early because he'd be immediately one of the most over acts on the show. I could
But
definitely see.
that's how you get them to watch NXT, man.
I can see him showing up ahead of the October 1st debut, though. I could definitely see that happening, and that might
Mm-hmm.
be what the direction is. Why he's mingling with a lot of main roster people.
Okay.
Honestly, as
Uh,
much as I say that he's limited, like he could go to the main roster tomorrow, and I wouldn't bat an eye, for real. Like he's just that over. He's got the look.
yeah. All right. That is it for our show. Subscribe to us on Patreon, patreon.com/the A Show RNC. You can also follow us on Twitter, um, YouTube, all sorts of platforms at the A Show RNC. There's a link in the show notes. You can follow me, Cyrus, at Cyrus on TWR, and you can follow Justin at OG Johnny 5. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace out.
Peace out.